You're now live.
Hi, everybody. This is The Emerald. I'm your North Carolina tour lead on the Earn Your Wings Books and Speakers Tour 2025. I'm here with one of our wonderful book authors, Miss Michelle Dewitt. How are you today?
I am doing well. I'm wonderful, wonderful. Today's been a great day.
Yes, we winding down. It's almost the end of the day. I get the awesome privilege of interviewing this lovely soul that I got the opportunity to spend. You don't realize how much a little something goes, and that little birthday gift you gave me on Saturday, believe it or not, I was having a little whirlwind of things. So your little gift to me just made me say, you know what, I am loved. And I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to pick this time to say thank you for that too. So just being with you,
Oh, you're welcome.
getting to hear you on the tour, I know you're not just somebody who talks the talk, you actually walk the walk. You've been there. You've been there through unbreakable faith. So when I heard you speak, and not only that kindness you show me, we although we are familiar with each other throughout the tour, I felt a different form of sisterhood formed that day. I said, okay, because again, you really didn't know what was going on. You really made my day. So I wanted to say thank you again. But
You
this
are
is not
so
about me.
welcome.
This is about you. And I got the privilege of getting to know about your book. So, for anyone who's watching, can you give us a overview of your book and what it means to you to be on the tour, and how you feel like your book kind of helps the tour and the tour's mission?
Absolutely. So I do have a copy of my book, so you can see it. It is I've Been There. That's the name of the book, and my book talks about basically what has happened. It is about me, and it talks about the different steps that I've gone throughout my life. And with the Earn Your Wings tour, the mission statement actually talks about the same thing that is in my book, which is dealing with sexual abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault. It is exactly what is in my book. And I believe that with um, Earn Your Wings and being able to express myself when we were in South Carolina, and letting the individuals that were there know how important it is for them to tell their story. I believe that was a great moment, a great moment.
It absolutely was. And again, my apologies for taking so long to get you your footage, but I'm glad I was finally able to get the kinks out of technology and get it over to you. It was not letting me sin to save my life. So to talk about your background, you grew up here in Charlotte, North Carolina, though. You're a native like me. You know, we're unicorns, we're rare.
Wow.
So, can you tell me about your childhood, maybe what side of town you grew up on, and maybe not giving too much because, of course, we want our viewers to go out and purchase this book,
Yeah.
but give us enough of your background within the book to know how your story ties into other victim survivors, and maybe some things that some advocates can take from your story to help a victim of some type of trauma that you've been through, like the sexual abuse trauma.
Okay, so I grew up in Charlotte, just as you stated. I am the only girl that my mother had out of five children. I grew up in, they call it Greertown. Some people call it Stumptown. I think you've heard about whichever one, Greertown, Stumptown. I don't know, but it's whatever
I grew
whatever
up
you
on
want.
Gridtown. That's what they called it when I was growing up.
Okay, so we will. So will you buy Orange Street?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
absolutely was absolutely.
Okay.
Right
So they
on the
said,
other end
okay.
of like kind of parallel to Billingsley.
Oh, see now, see there we go. I ain't
I
getting into
know my
all that.
Charlotte.
So I'm over there by Billingsley. I don't know, Greertown stuff, but anyway, I grew up over there. It was called the Cut. That's where I grew up at, in the Cut. It was a smaller dirt road with some apartments that were um, maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 6 to 8 little apartments there, and my dad worked at a it worked with the state at that time, and he made the road, he changed the road, and he had them come out and pave it. He came out and had a few friends come out and pave the road. I remember that as a little girl. So yeah, there
That
was
was
some.
on Orange Street or Billingsley.
It was on Billingsley Road. That's where
Okay,
I grew
okay,
up, on Billingsley Road in the Cut. It's no longer there now. It's a police station there.
okay.
Hmm.
I know exactly where you're at. I'm always through that way. That's why
Yeah.
it's funny to me. Okay,
Yep,
so
I went to Cotswold Middle School. I went to Cotswold Elementary, Randolph Middle School. Hmm.
I had 1 year in Randolph Middle School, and believe
Okay.
it, I'm not sure if when you went there, we had a bit of everybody from. I think I was in North Charlotte. I actually wasn't in Bricktown, so I was going there from North Charlotte, but still kind of in
Oh.
the city. So it
Hmm.
was fun. It was fun. What about what type of education did you get beyond Randolph's?
So after I left Randolph Middle School, I went to Harding High School, um, and from there, um, I ended up getting pregnant and dropping out.
Story of my life. I just look. We talk about so much serious stuff on the tour. I just try to make sure I keep the momentum going, keep us happy. Look, but look at you now. Look at you now.
Absolutely. So after I dropped out of Hardin High School, um, and I went back to Central Piedmont. I did get my GED years later, and I decided that I wanted to go even further. So with that, I went to Liberty University, and I received my bachelor's degree in theology with a concentration in
Absolutely, as you should. As I'm so
theology.
happy for you. I knew it was coming. Like it's a similar story to all of us. So that's why I didn't mean to laugh, but I do like
Yeah,
the truth.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
make these mistakes in life, or not even mistakes. I like to
Amen.
call it road detours.
They're road detours, but they're ordained by God.
And you always end up where you're supposed to be. And again,
Absolutely.
we're right here. So once you got your bachelor's in theology at Liberty,
I did. Liberty University is in Tennessee, but at that time they were here in Charlotte. They had a place here, and I was able to attend. And so, yes, I did. I got my bachelor's degree in theology with a concentration in youth counseling.
how would you say that counseling in youth has helped you on your road to be a survivor advocate? And I guess I know I have your book, and I have my apologies. I haven't had an opportunity to read it, but I'm definitely going to message you when I do. I would like to know how your teaching as a youth counselor, was that something that you did before or after you wrote your book? And is that something that you think maybe not force you, but help motivate you to write your passages for other youth out there that might be going through similar stories as you?
So my book has only been out for like 3 years now. And
Okay.
so when I went to Liberty University at that time, I've been youth pastor for over a decade. And so while I was in college during that time, I was working with the youth, and I wanted to learn more about the atmosphere of dealing with adolescents, dealing with um, youth hurting themselves. I wanted to know more about how to communicate on their level, what I need to do. I just wanted to expound my knowledge of working with the youth, because so many times we can become judgmental when it comes down to our youth. And I wanted to make sure that I learned how to listen with a intensive ear and understand where they're going and where they have come from. And a lot of people, just as you stated earlier, a lot of people, they say they're this and they're that. But what I learned from that is that if there is a survivor, that we're talking as a survivor, for me, I learned to listen without a judgment. I learned to believe in what they're saying and to let them know that they are not alone. That's what I've learned.
I'm so glad we got people out here in the world like you. I'm working towards that, being more non-judgmental when it comes to the youth being different than our time. I
Oh, yeah.
see I think I seen a post earlier today where it was a bunch of people at my age. I think I'm considered a millennial, saying the kids now, that ain't music, it's junk. I said, oh my gosh, we sound like our parents. So
Don't we know?
and I guess that goes in hand to hand with me raising my young children when they were younger and not being able to understand things that I didn't know before I went through a healing phase.
Yep.
So again, I'm glad we have people who have done the work just like you, who go out there. And again, we laughed about it a few minutes ago. We had our detours. We took the scenic route to get to where we needed to be, but
Yep.
you got here, and through your mission, you not only are helping youth, but through your book, I know it's going to be a powerful story, and I have to have the mental space. I don't know if you've seen that new Tyler Perry movie that just came out. I feel like that's something that's going, when I read your book, it's going to make me cry, because you're somebody that I know. When I look at you, I'm going to have to, so the seriousness of what we really talk about, again, I try to lighten the mood at times, but it's really, but so light that you can make it. And when you, a lot of times people, like, I'm pretty sure it was educators that just might not have known what to look for with your situation, because I do know details from the story you told us down at the Healing Festival.
Yes.
So just me living my life and being more empathetic to others and learning to humble myself and not always think with emotion, and maybe think with a little bit more logic of things aren't always black and white. It's
Right.
it's,
Right.
it's gray.
Mm-hmm.
So to know that we have some people who are actually there, you're already there, I want to say thank you, because that's what our youth need going forward, for people in my age bracket, my generation, to meet in the middle with our older generations, the younger generations, and same thing with them. We need people who are at least willing to do the work and
Mm-hmm.
learn the other person so that they can do what you're doing. And again, thank you, Miss Dewitt.
You are so welcome. I'm excited to do it. It took a minute though, because to tell my story, I mean, once you read my book, you'll see. And like you said, if you weren't there at the fest, then you have to get the book. But
You
it
get the
took a
book.
minute it took a minute to tell this story. I wasn't intention, we don't grow up saying, oh, I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a writer. I grew up saying that I want to do what I do, work in the school system with the youth. I worked in the school system here in Charlotte for 20 years. I started off as a bus driver, went into being what they call a lead bus driver then, where it was basically had worked with 10 people under me. And then I went from being the bus driver into the building and becoming a substitute teacher, and from being a substitute teacher, I became full time working in administration, being administrative secretary, working under the superintendents. At that time, they had a big break off with superintendents in certain areas. So I worked with superintendent named Denise at that time, and it was very, very informative information I learned, and you know, that's where I thought I was gonna stay. But God had bigger plans for me. He was like,
Won't he do
mm-mm.
it? Won't
Yeah,
he do it?
I was like, I'm good. You know, I'm in my church. I'm talking to the youth. I'm talking to the youth in the school. But God said, no, you got more to do. And so the doors opened for me to write. I've been there, my book. Um, and after that, I thought that was it. But God said, no, I got another step for you to take. And that step was for me to start the organization, Unbreakable Faith. And I was like, nah, I don't like being out there like that. You know, I can deliver a word of God, amen, Jesus, hallelujah, had cut up with the youth. But God, you talking about do what now?
When he call you, you better listen though. That's what you better do, because he gonna take you further than you ever thought you could go.
Oh
And I'm
man.
pretty sure you got other places to go, and you like, I want to do this, but he gonna take you further, Miss Dewitt. He's definitely gonna take you further, Michelle.
I mean, I was just like, man, you know, so I thank God for what he is doing, the people that he's placing in my life in this season, who the people that I'm around, meeting you. You are so silly. You silly. You love to cut up. I don't listen, I don't know if y'all seen her go to her site and look at how her poses she did in South Carolina, y'all. You are so
I
silly. And
that
she a
almost
rapper, y'all.
I forgot that you put those
Listen.
pictures of me.
Listen.
Look, and I love to have fun. I do, and I don't think anybody has to assume that God was your main guidance in
Yeah.
getting through those dark patches you had
Yeah.
when you were actually going through the process of understanding what you were going through as a child and being able to articulate that into a book. That takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
That takes a
One of
lot.
the things my coach told me in writing my book, take my time. If it becomes overwhelming, stop. And you know, she coached me along the way with writing my book. But I'm truly, let me tell you, I am so grateful to the Father in regards to the life that I live. I went through a whole lot of hell as a little girl, starting at 3 years old, and going all the way up into my teen years. But I don't hate the individuals that sexually assaulted me and raped me. I don't at all. It's because of what I learned in the church is that we have to forgive, and everybody's not there yet. I didn't go through counseling. God was my counselor to help me. I went through a lot of struggles in life to learn, and he started teaching me things at a young age, and I thank God for that. Everybody can't testify to that. I always tell people, get your counseling. I believe truly that if I did get my counseling, that at that time, if my family believed in doing that, I believe that some of the things that I went through, I wouldn't have gone through because the counseling helps. I'm grateful that it did go the way that it did, because I can tell people, listen, get the counseling. God, he does heal people. He does. There are some people that you can say that are out there that are on cocaine, alcoholics, meth, and God has supernaturally delivered them. But everybody doesn't go that route, and that's okay. That's what people have to understand. I'm not a woman of God that's all deep and, oh God. I don't do that. I keep it for real. I keep it real with people and let them know that you take whatever route you need to take so that you can get delivered and set free, so you can advocate the same way that Earn Your Wings does. It whatever you have to do. And but I will say this, when you forgive people, it's to help you grow. It's to help you grow.
Ooh, you said a mouthful, and I'm at a space where I'm just now learning. You can't change it. You you got it's kind of that shadow work. You got to love the ugly parts of what you went through. You can't be. You have to grieve what you thought it could have been,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to make room for what it is.
Yeah.
And if that means letting go of that hatred
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever hurt you have that somebody has inflicted on you, you have to let that go.
That's right. Amen. Oh my goodness, that's good. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes,
You
I
cannot
feel it.
keep. I tell people when I
Just getting it. Just get look. You see, I'm
tell,
straddling. I'm
I
over
got
the
you.
fence. I'm all the
It's
way over the fence, but it's still like I still see it, but it's over the fence.
it's okay though because you're
Yeah.
working on it. The thing is though, you're working on it. We all got something we need to work on. I may be over being dealing with what I went through as a young child, but there's some other situations in my life now that I have to work with. We all at different levels in our life. But when it comes down to dealing with the sexual abuse and being sexually assaulted, I tell people when I speak that you can't keep ripping the band-aid off. Every time you rip the band-aid off, it has to start the healing process all over again. If you look at the scar on your arm and you keep picking at the scar, open it back up, you got to start that healing process again. So why not go ahead and start working on that healing process so you can stop being in pain?
Absolutely, absolutely. And with such powerful messages, I know we seen you some in North Carolina. We got to see your book. We got more of you in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Uh, are there any other states that we can expect to see you on during the tour, preaching this message and helping our youth get through it? Because I promise you, it's going to be somebody out there in one of these audiences, and they might not even tell us, but I'm pretty sure something you're going to say is going to be so powerful and move them, or at least help them go get on their maybe take the first steps towards that healing. So, can we expect you in any of the states? Are there any states specific? I know next year we got Florida and Tennessee. I think added to the list. What
Okay.
what do, what do you think we might catch you at on tour again?
We'll actually Virginia. I'm looking at when you guys set it up to go to Virginia, and I would love to go to Florida and Tennessee in next year. I'm glad you told me that. I didn't know you guys were going to. Okay, next year, yeah.
Is we're working on it now. We're working on it now. So your mental
Yeah.
health liaison. I'm trying to get my mental together so we can get it all together
Okay.
and get
Okay.
everybody in this big old circle full of love. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I seen I remember you were drawing the sky. Maybe I looking at somebody else's pictures doing the
No, it
healing.
was a sky. Yeah. Yeah.
It was the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, okay. How did it feel when we went down there with Miss Karen, her husband, and her family? How did it feel writing out the sky, and what did that mean to you in that moment of letting go? I remember the project was to draw something that you need to let go of, and I noticed you were drawing the sky, but I wanted to know if that had anything to do with anything personal maybe you were letting go of.
Yeah, it was some personal things, and I was saying in my mind that I have to set it free. I have to not hold on to, yeah, some personal things. Mm-hmm.
And I only bring this up because it was such a pretty picture of the
Oh,
sky. I
thank
really,
you.
that's why I said I think mine was just all you kind of knew what it
You
was.
did good. I was like, look at her over there doing her thing. I didn't even finish. You were done. I was like, Okay, I'm moving too slow.
Well, no, I felt like mine was just a little bit. You knew what it was, but yours had one of those. I wanted to ask you about it because I I knew that I would be interviewing you
Yeah.
for the
Oh,
your session
okay.
this month. So I wanted to ask you because I said it was so happy. Were you just drawing? I did it mean something to you? So I'm glad I did ask. I'm
Yeah.
glad. What
Hmm.
what other projects do you have in the works, Miss Michelle? Outside of the tour, is there anything we can expect from you in advocacy? Or are you making any grand plans that we can follow along with you on? Maybe another book?
Yeah, I will be writing.
Why do you say it like that?
Yeah.
You make me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shit. You're right.
So with my, I haven't started on it yet. I do have the outline, but I am doing a journal to go along with my book because a lot of people have said that they really love the truth that I have in my book, and so I'm actually going to redo it as a journal, and I'm also going to be doing a children's book. Of course, it will be talking about good touches and bad touches in regards to that good touch, bad touch. I
Love
am
it.
start. Thank you. I'm starting a program called Rise and Advocate. I will be that will be going out in July, the end of July, I believe. Rise and Advocate, and that program is going to be consistent with sharing and teaching young adults how to rise up and advocate.
We need more of those. I've been trying to enlist some for the tour, but it's like I guess the kids
Ah,
got too much going on. Nobody's trying to be an advocate right now.
yeah, it's hard
But
with the youth. They don't really, that's why we have to give them that reassurance that it's okay, we got you. We have this
absolutely.
in
And if they
folk.
see enough of us in the project,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that soon because I realize that my kids do like to read books. And
Yeah.
I've actually had my kids read some books before me. So
Okay.
that's what pushes me and motivates me to say, okay, I got to do better. I got,
Cool.
and I'm not that old. So I feel like
No.
I got a cane in my hand. Like, hold up, you're not finna outrun me with a book.
Yes, you are not that old at all. You're so young. Man. Man.
Well, I'm definitely enjoying our interview tonight. Tonight, I just really do wish that we had a little bit more time in Colombia because that was a vibe. It was a vibe. Everything went as planned, and I would have hoped that we could have got some dinner, maybe exchange some ideas some more. Do you think you might be visiting us for one of the other Earn Your Wings projects that we'll be working on with the back to school drives closer towards the end of August? Is that something that maybe we can expect to see you at if you
Ooh.
have the free time?
Yeah, we need to talk about that. I'm actually putting together the back to school drive right now. When school lets out, that's when we start working on getting back into it. So yeah, we need to get together and see what we can. Yeah, that would be great. Love to talk about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have some ideas close to Gridtown actually, so we're gonna see what we can make shake.
Oh,
Actually, but we're not gonna tell too much. We're gonna have to make people follow us, like they're gonna have to check out what we're doing because we're not just based here. Even though me and you are from Charlotte, I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting each other before the tour, and we met in a whole nother state.
yeah.
It might it might have been and a lot of times I find myself like Charlotte's got a lot, but we really do have a lot because just to meet you and know you're not far from me, I would have never expected you to have lived and come
Mhm.
from the same hometown. We know the same streets. So it's exciting to know your story and know what you came from because that's motivation to a mother like me. That's motivation to somebody like me who have those days where I'm like, could So again, I just want to thank you a million times for doing what you're doing, because I
Thank
feel like I'm
you.
not doing enough. And
Oh.
I I want
Mhm.
to push the tour's message, because it's not just about one type of assault that you've gone through personally, the sexual assault. It's
Mhm.
about domestic violence, it's
Mhm.
about bullying. We
Yeah.
have abuse of older people. We have all types of life traumas that go
Mhm.
unnoticed. And sometimes people just have to keep pushing,
Mhm.
pushing,
Mhm.
pushing, and not knowing how to process that, but having the resources. A lot of people don't know that it's just a click away. You spend,
Mhm.
you waste 20, $30, and I believe your book is half of that, correct?
It it's $20.
I'm gonna tell you what, my bad. I'm gonna tell you what, $20 is what get wasted though on anything in the world. So I think if more people knew that these type of resources were out here, and it
Yes.
was it's something right here. This young lady is here telling us her story. Why not ordered it on Amazon? You can get the book shipped to you. I want to say anywhere in the world, but definitely in the US of A. In one of these states will be touring. So just to know that again, I'm surrounded by like-minded people like you. I want to say thank you again,
You're
Michelle.
welcome.
Anything specific you want to, anything other else you want to share outside of these little exciting? I'm gonna write another. Uh,
I
you got
I
anything
would
else
like for
you want to?
everyone, yeah, they can go to my website, Unbreakable Faith Incorporated. They can go there and they can order the book from the website. I would prefer they order from the website because I would like to keep up with who's ordering. I don't look on Amazon like that. But you're right. Once the book came out, I was able to go on podcasts in Canada, England, and some other places as well. They reached out to me and asked me to be a part of their podcast.
We hit that worldwide, and I'm trying to get my passport, but I'm pretty sure you were able to do your podcast right there at home in Charlotte,
Yeah,
North Carolina, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we worldwide. See, I'm gonna have to take a picture of your book in the UK somewhere when I get my passport and I finish it up.
I don't know who had it. It was a podcast. I mean I know who had it. It's on YouTube, but it was a podcast that they reached out to me and they were in England and in Canada. They reached out. I think one was in Alaska. Yep.
and
Yep.
and a lot of people don't know, if I'm not mistaken. I know here in North Carolina we have victims up in the reservations, up in not up in the reservations, but a lot of reservations. There's I want to say a stigma. There's something that said that a lot of the women, young children, they get abused
Mm-hmm.
in those areas where there isn't a lot of access to, I guess, county police.
Yes. There
Um,
was a lady on my team. She's not on my team anymore, but she was in Colombia. She was in
okay.
Colombia, and she is a professor in Colombia. Um, and she said there they can't they couldn't talk about sexual abuse, sexual assault. They don't address it like that. The men are very controlling.
And
That's
I
what she
mean,
shared with me. I didn't, that's what she shared with me.
and we have our stigmas of maybe this being a male dominated world, but I do think that when the right things are said to the right people, here we might have a little bit more leniency. And when we have more county officials outside of, not I wouldn't know the correct terminology, but cops just that access just the reservations and areas like that. And I know Alaska, they have some of those areas that are very diluted, and they don't have a lot of access to
Yeah,
resources like such. So
most
I'm glad that not just my voice, but your voice definitely is getting out there worldwide. I wasn't just saying that, but hey, I know. Now I know I ain't even trying to make you feel like I done underestimated you, Michelle, but you
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 are
got
something,
it.
y'all. I'm telling you, she's something else, y'all.
You out here doing it because again, you just a little old Charlotte girl like me. People
Mhm.
think Charlotte is the city, but we just got buildings. I was just looking
Mhm.
at a raccoon the other day, just sitting on somebody's porch, and it was just
Yeah.
minding his business going down the street. He didn't
Yeah.
come over here and mess with me, but I seen him going over there looking for something.
My
We
gosh.
just
Oh
got
my
buildings.
Lord. Yeah, right. I know, right? It's so much work to do, and it's good to be able to partner and collaborate with so many people that have, like you stated earlier, the same mindset. I look forward to working more with Earn Your Wings and learning more about it. I'm excited that I have met you and Miss Tiffany, and I've popped on some of the podcasts and just sat back and listened. And I'm excited the direction that we are all going in. And no, I'm not preaching, I'm speaking. I want everyone in it. And also, I want to make this clear because it's called Unbreakable Faith. I know that God gave this to me, but our organization is not faith based. I want to make sure I say that because a lot of times people they want to back up and say, "Oh, that's that holy thing." It's not. We serve everybody. It doesn't matter if you LGBTQIA. It doesn't matter. It does.
and, and I can attest to that too because I think I explained to you that I'm very spiritual, but I actually grew up with Islamic teachings.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
I have a lot of people in my family who are more so Christian, but my immediate family we're the
Mhm.
Islamic faith. And
Okay.
of course, you see, I'm not covered as I should be if I was devotedly practicing. But that's another reason why I take to you because I feel like the same way you do the kids that
Yeah.
not to say that I judge kids, but that I judge. You didn't judge me because of my background. You
Mm.
did not. You did not judge me as a girl who don't have her hair covered but claiming she a Muslim. I felt that from you,
Yeah.
and I could tell when you started speaking. And although I'm saying preaching, because you was preaching,
Ah,
that means you was putting something strong on somebody else's spirit enough
man,
that
it was
they
good.
really
Yeah, that thing was good. I got up there just to say a few words, and it just like the Holy Spirit just went to say, "Go this way." And then
and I'm
at
glad
the
he
event,
did.
God said, "Go get your books and just give them away."
And I'm glad you did. I got you and Tiffany sitting up there high. Don't get me wrong. I'll be reading it in the middle of the day. Tiffany, I'm almost done. Almost done. But I'm there. I'm there. And it gives me something to do because when I'm done with them, I'm gonna have to go meet up with the other artists.
All
I,
right.
I, I prefer I prefer seeing y'all face to face since we're on tour
Okay.
together and,
Okay.
and getting books versus getting them off of Amazon. I love
All
to get them
right.
from y'all face to face.
They might
So
hit they
and
might
that's
hit it like I did, and if you like, you know what, I'm just gonna give away some books. You never know. They might want to come on out.
look, and it was a wonderful birthday gift. Like that was actually my
Oh,
birthday when we were down there. So that
yeah,
was that it, like you said before we started, you had a chill birthday that next Monday.
yeah.
Mine's was it was a Saturday, it was chill. I think I went and seen Sinners that night by myself and I didn't even want no popcorn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had a good time. We went to the Airbnb, and you and it was a setup for you and I to connect and communicate. I love that. I was able to learn more about you. You were able to find out more about me because we didn't have time to talk when we first met. We had to keep it moving, and that was
Absolutely.
a beautiful setup for you and I to get to know each other and learn more about Earn Your Wings. Man, you guys are powerful. Y'all doing some things. Y'all doing some things.
Well, thank you. Look, I'm trying to be like you, Michelle, when I grow up. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I told you I'm over the fence. My shirt caught a little bit, so I be swinging sometimes.
You are
Again,
big.
I like to make sure I keep the mood up. We got to smile sometimes, even through our
Yes.
tears. I'm not necessarily a comedian, but I do like I like to see happy smiles, happy tears,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if they start off sad. And
Yes.
what we talk about on the tour, a lot of people get emotional. And
Yeah.
I find myself sometimes getting trapped in that train of thought. But when I think about all of the people that I'm on tour with, Tiffany, you, Kashonda, Clarissa, I'm sorry for saying your name.
Yeah, Clarissa.
Clarissa,
Yeah.
know you guys, Chris. I Chris. Oh, Damien. I know everybody, and everybody's story individually,
Yeah.
intertwining with mine, gives me the motivation I need. Like it's not just me out here going through stuff, and
Right.
they still moving, even if they going through their own stuff. Just like I know I might be somebody's motivation, and I'm gonna tell whoever that is, you better keep going. You better not let up. You better
Yeah,
not
y'all
let
need
up.
to hear. Y'all need to do. Y'all need to hear her. What does it say? What they say? Spin them wheel. What? How you say it? Y'all need to. How you say it? What's the word? You know what I'm trying to say. Y'all need to come and hear her. What is it? Spin the wheels. What is it? Lay
Well,
it down. What is it called?
uh, I'm trying. Look, my head be going too now, Michelle. We're gonna think about it before we let out today. So again, we know that you are gonna see us in Virginia. I know that myself. I was thinking I want to be in New York. I do want to do Texas, Louisiana, and I'm tentative on Maryland and Virginia right now, just because Maryland is right when school starts here.
Oh
So I
yeah,
have
yeah,
to make sure my little ones are situated.
yeah,
But all the other tours, I'm definitely got at least 2 good days each tour state, and I cannot wait. Hope to see you there. Hope we hurry up and get Virginia back
yeah,
on
yeah.
the calendar
Right.
so that we can figure out if you're gonna be there, and I can put my brain together on how we can work to maybe get some more youth, because
Mhm.
I love kids myself. I
Yeah.
don't like misbehaving kids, entitled kids for nothing, but I love children. And again, we look, so that's why I need somebody like you to help bring me in the middle.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, definitely. I want to make sure that you guys, let me know about the Virginia, and let's get together and talk about back to school.
Yeah, definitely. That skill set will be needed to help us with you already working with the youth, connecting with the youth here in Charlotte. Maybe you can make Unbreakable Faith something that reaches out to other children. You could get your own headquarters in some of these other states that we're going to be working with soon.
Woo-hoo! Come on, speak it. Say it,
I'm,
girlfriend.
I'm just putting a little seed out there. We got to do the work and water it and grow, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna sprinkle a couple of rain clouds on it every time I pass by when I see you.
Thank you. Thank you. I see Miss Tiffany up here.
Yeah, I know it's about time. It's about time because I can sit here and talk to you all night.
I know,
That
right?
I definitely enjoyed it again. I just hate that we didn't get one good dinner. One
We
good
will.
dinner.
Let's do it. We could do it. We could do that. We could do
Let's
that.
do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that
All
before the
right.
next tour stop. We right here in the same city, so it's not
Yeah,
an excuse.
sure.
It's
Okay.
not an excuse. Our next tour stop is Maryland, August 24th through the 27th. You want to make sure you reach out to us at
Mhm.
earnyourwingstour@gmail.com. We have an Earn Your Wings anti-bullying back to school festival August 30th. I believe that was here in Charlotte. So make sure you reach out to us. You can follow us on Instagram at Earn Your Wings Tour, or you can follow us on Facebook at Earn Your Wings Books and Speakers Tour. Miss Michelle, before we let out, where can we find you and all of these many organizations you're tied to that are definitely tied to Earn Your Wings? And you can catch more information on how she can help you right here in Charlotte, North Carolina by
Yeah, they
following our tour page and
yeah,
following her
yeah,
tour page. Where else
yeah.
can we find you outside of Amazon?
You can find me, like I said, you can go to my website, Unbreakable Faith. Also, I'm on Facebook as Unbreakable Faith, Instagram, the social media sites. You go to social media sites, you'll see me up there tomorrow. I will be in Concord. I have a speaking engagement in Concord tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. I can't think of the name of the facility now, but I can send it to you so you guys can see it. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
let us
can
know
find me on
so we
all
can
social
share
media.
it. Do you remember what the event's about in Concord?
Yeah, so it is telling my life story.
Okay.
It's telling my life story, not just about the book, but how did I overcome in my life different obstacles. Hmm.
And again, I know the main one of the main sources was God Himself. Not to get too too on religion, but God. A lot of people don't understand God Himself
Hmm.
even if it's within yourself. Love yourself.
Hmm.
Love yourself. And when you love yourself, you'll be able to spread that love to everybody else. Get them wings. And I hope that you get some footage so that maybe I can see it and save it and it don't take you forever to get it to me, please.
Oh yeah, yeah, tomorrow it will be recorded. I'll send it over to you guys. So yeah, most definitely.
And depending
Yeah.
on if it's in the afternoon, I hope that maybe I can make it. But I know I got some things planned in the early afternoon when I get off from work. But if the time works right, you send it to the chat. I might make some things happen to see if I can't get some more of you.
Okay. All right then. Thank you. Thank you so
No,
much.
no, thank you, Michelle, again. I appreciate you. I'm very thankful to have met you, and I can't wait to see you again outside of the tour
Thank
and
you.
right here on Speak Up and Inspire because I'm sure we're gonna have you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Have a wonderful, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
All
Love
right.
you guys. Make sure you follow us on all of these links.
All
Bye.
right.